Meanwhile, in Canada, there's a bill making it a serious crime to not use people's preferred pronouns and all of that nonsense.
Is this around events? So this is like around trans events. They're trying to get this law passed in Ontario.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Firstly, it enables the Attorney General to create a 2S LGBTQI plus community safety zone to prohibit within 100 meters of the property any homophobic, transphobic act of intimidation, threat, offensive threats, offensive remarks, protest, disturbance, and distribution of hate propaganda within the meaning of the criminal code. It also comes with it a penalty of $25,000 if prosecuted successfully.
Pause it for a second. So Canada is wiping out. Can you freeze that? Freeze that last frame. They're making it a criminal offense to say anything about LGBTQ people around an event. All right, so you're creating a no free speech zone. Can you freeze that last frame?
Yeah,
where we saw the 2S thing. Because I
just put the video back up and hit pause. If you could.
That would be good. Yeah.
Play pause.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Okay.
Well.
Okay, yeah, there it is. 2S. They switched the 2 from the end to the beginning because it used to be 2 plus. It was LGBTQIA 2 plus. Now it's 2S, so Two Spirit gets top billing now.
Exactly. Yep, they're bearing LGB.
2S LGBTQI plus. Huh. Protect them because I guess Two Spirit.
How many people identify as Two Spirit?
I mean, how many? Seriously, yeah, that's got to be a tiny, tiny, tiny minority.
Better stated, how many people 2 years ago identified as Two Spirit?
Yeah, probably none. Like 3 on the planet.
It's a nightmare.
So you can't have free speech in Canada anymore if there's anybody in the Two Spirit LGBTQIA plus community.
And by the way, that's cultural appropriation when you take that Two Spirit and start using it in the trans movement, since that's roots are in Native America.
Oh, good point. Yeah.
It's madness.
And you could be fined $25,000, I guess, arrested and then fined. Wow.
Yeah, by the way, you can put that tweet back up there that you put up momentarily from Tim Young, friend of the program, with the title, The Woke Reboot of X-Men Isn't Looking Good, you guys. I mean, that's a good one. Oh, boy. And so many masks, too. Tells you everything I need to know right there.
Wow. Jeez.
It's a freak show, man. It just is.
It's incredible.
It just is.
That's incredible.
So I don't know. Have we played all of this clip from the lawmaker?
I think we did, yeah.
Okay, so let's...
I think we did. Here's a trans man with his perspective.
Okay. He
on
feels
how people in the trans community are treated.
It's unsafe.
Drag is all about spreading love and acceptance and allows people to feel empowered and special. Drag artists and trans people have an inherent right to live freely and authentically in their truth.
Good, go for it.
Everyone wants and deserves to feel safe and valued in their work.
Right.
That is why these recent acts of organized
Pause
protests...
it for a second. You do not... People are protesting. You doing this to children. I don't give a rat's anus whether you do it among adults or not. I don't care how many times you do your drag pole routine or whatever it is you're doing at a bar or an event that is peopled by adult persons who have chosen to be there of their own free will. That's great. Knock yourself out. Don't do it to our children.
Have you heard one human being on this planet
never
say that you shouldn't do drag shows whatsoever?
No. Never. There's never been a problem until recently when they started trying to affect our children. This all began with the library situation and the story time for 3 and 4-year-olds with the guy with the horns at that New York library.
Yep.
And it's like, what are you doing? What is this? And then it started not just the drag time story hour, but they were performing in front of children, tiny little children, in their faces, grinding sexually.
Yes.
And that is what we can't allow. Other than that, I don't care.
They have obfuscated this so much by saying that they've tried to make this into a thing that doesn't exist.
Yeah, they have.
By saying, oh my gosh, you hate people because they're different than you. What are you talking about? All we have said is leave the kids alone. But that's not going to... Well, was it Jesse Kelly who made that great point on Twitter? We read it here on the show where he's like, communist, man, they look for choke points. Places that you would never even think to worry about. Like story hour at the library.
Yeah.
And they go and they exploit those weak points in your society.
Right. And then because you're protesting that, you're a hater and you want to stop the way they live. No, nothing could be further from the truth. I don't care what you're doing. I don't care.
Right. They have taken your defense of children and turned it into this crazy intolerance that you have for their lifestyle. We don't care about their lifestyle. It's the same thing that they did with school board meetings. They took parents who went up there and said, I don't want pornography in my kid's library. I'm tired of teachers.
Oh, you're trying to ban books.
Yeah, ban books. Exactly.
You're Nazis. You're trying to ban and burn books.
Don't let them get away with this.
Just like the Nazis did. Just like the Nazis. That's the new posse comitatus now. You're just like the Nazis. Just like they're burning books like the Nazis.
Yeah, and remember, it used to be that if you dared to bring up the Nazis as a parallel example,
you were the worst person alive. And for some reason,
it's their go-to now.
The Anti-Defamation League would come after you for bringing it up. How dare you? How dare you talk about Nazis? Well, isn't that what we're trying to do, is remember what happened so we don't repeat it? Isn't that what we promised 75 years ago? I thought that... No, you guys can't even breathe that word. Oh, okay. All right.
Okay, then can I say 1930s Germany? Can I get... No, I can't.
No, you cannot.
Okay.
No, absolutely not.
Man, and by the way, so this law, this free speech zone, which is really a free speech exclusionary zone around any kind of trans event, is more than a football field away. I mean, it's not like...
My gosh.
It's not like you go on the other side of the street and protest.
What do you want to bet that'll pass in Canada? Because Canada's gone. Canada is not a free country anymore.
No.
And neither is New Zealand. We've talked about this before. And neither is Australia. I mean, those three Western countries are gone.